guys, my name's Kelly. Today I wanted to share with you what I've been sewing, and I'm so excited about all of these pieces. Unlike my June Makes video, these pieces are way more statement making, and I think that you guys will really enjoy them. I would love to hear which one is your favorite piece, and I also wanted to let you guys know that I am currently in a completely different place, a completely different state. Will and I are visiting my family for 2.5 months. We have our cats here with us. All of our stuff is in storage. It's been a wild ride the past month and a half. And I just wanted to let you guys know that I just finished my degree in apparel and textile design. It's a fashion design degree, essentially. And I wanted to ask you if you have any questions related to the process of getting a degree in fashion design, what it was like, anything specific you have to ask about the degree, as well as just kind of the perspective of someone who didn't go to FIT, who didn't go to New York or LA to get her degree. I got my degree in Kansas, and so I might have a little bit of a different perspective to offer than a lot of the people who have made videos about their experience at FIT and different schools that are more, I guess, well known. So if you have any questions related to that, I would love to answer them. I'm planning to make a video about that sometime in the near future regardless, but I would love to get some specific questions from you guys. So even if you have no desire to go to school for that, if you just have questions, I still want to answer them, so please leave them below. But for now, I'm just going to jump into the video. So the first thing that I made was a Wixton Haori. Now, I've wanted to make this pattern for a long time, and I finally did it, and I do not regret it at all. I would highly recommend the pattern, just like everyone else in the world that's made it, because it's so good, and I understand what all the hype is about now. I made mine out of wool, and I lined it with linen, and I also used the linen to make the collar, as well as a little facing on the pocket, and I did change the pocket as opposed to a patch pocket, which is the drafted pattern piece. I extended the pocket length and width to make it be sewn into the collar, the side seam, and the hem. And then I also curved the pocket opening and made a little facing for it. So this was a really fun make. Like I said, I would highly recommend it. I plan to make more, and I do think lining it with linen was a good choice because it's more breathable than a synthetic lining would be, and it does offer the reversibility because of how the pattern is constructed. If you line it with something that you like the look of for an outer fabric, then you can reverse it. I would say with wool, if you're sensitive to wool, obviously if you make it out of wool, you might not want to reverse it. I don't think I'll reverse mine very often, but I do like having the option to do that if I'm wearing a long sleeve top or something where I wouldn't mind having the wool on the inside. The next thing I made is a dress, and this is one of my favorite things I've ever made. It's made out of a rayon linen blend fabric that's 90% rayon, 10% linen, and then I lined the bodice with a lyocell fabric, and it's just a simple like cami style bodice with a ruffled skirt, and obviously there's a lot of fabric here. I don't know exactly how many yards it took because I did overbuy of some of the fabrics and underbuy of the solid color one, but I did use the solid for the bodice and for all the little ruffles, and then for the skirt panels I used the same type of fabric, but just in the striped and the plaid print. And this was kind of a headache to sew, I won't lie to you guys. This fabric shrinks up a lot when you wash it. It gets really crinkly, and then as you work with it, it grows back out and stretches back out. So it was kind of fiddly, but overall I really love the final outcome of the dress. I have only worn it a couple times, but I'm really excited to wear it more because I just love the way it flows. And I do have plans to make this same exact dress, just in a shorter length, and with linen instead of this rayon. So I might even make a video about it if you guys are interested, because this is definitely something that you could do without a pattern. You might need to take a top from your wardrobe to kind of trace for the bodice portion, but then after that the rest is just rectangles. So it's really simple. Obviously gathering can be a little bit fiddly, but I have full faith in you that you can do it. So if you're interested in something like this, let me know, and I'll move that video up to the top of the list. And the last thing I made is another dress. This was actually made with the same bodice as the purple dress in my last makes video. So if you saw that video, same bodice, but you get a really different outcome with this dress because I changed the skirt. So like I said, same bodice. That's a McCall's pattern. I'll pop it up on the screen here. And then on the back, I chose to do buttons this time, which again adds a completely different feel to the dress. Little details like self-covered buttons and loops can completely change a pattern from something if you just would do a normal zipper. Adding something like that really changes the outcome and the whole feel of the entire garment. So I really like doing little details like that when I'm making clothes because it's just something special that you can add. And in my opinion, they're not any more fiddly than a zipper would be. just because I find it can be hard to line up seams on a zipper, and I almost always don't line up my lines across my zipper perfectly. No matter how many times I've done a zipper, I almost never get it exactly right. If you know a trick, please let me know, because I've tried everything. But I love buttons because you don't have that problem. You can sew your button wherever it needs to be to make those seams line up. And I just, like I said, I love the look that a little detail like that gives to a garment. And so the skirt for this dress was kind of self-drafted. I used a simple mini skirt, and what I did was lengthen it to midi length, and from the widest part of the hip, I kind of straightened that line out so that it would flare out a little bit. And then from where one of the darts was on the leg, I just cut straight down from the tip of that dart so that it would be 2 panels for the front, so that I could have the slit in the front. And then what you'll want to do is add seam allowance to that opening, and then take away where the dart was. You take that away because you're not going to be sewing a dart, you're going to be sewing a seam instead, and then you'll just sew with seam allowance in there as well. And that's a really simple way to make a skirt with a slit, working with that pattern you already have. But there are also some great patterns out there with skirts already like this if you don't want to make your own. So yeah, I only made 3 things in July, but I am so pumped about all of them. I hope to have opportunities to wear that pink dress again, because I wore it to my brother-in-law's wedding and I really liked it, and I might even try to make it again in a different fabric, because I think that kind of dress in like a black fabric or a navy blue would be really pretty. I made a video of my Make 9 plans where I showed a skirt that I bought to make a dress actually very similar to that, so I may actually just make this dress in that fabric as well, but that one's back at home and I'm not currently with all of that stuff, so we'll just have to decide when I get back to Kansas. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you'll leave your questions about fashion design school and all of that below. I would love to answer them, and thanks for watching.